Hello and welcome to the Advocacy Life blog and podcast network. I am your host, Mr. Kevin Nunez. I am thrilled you chose to spend a few minutes with me. I am the host of the Purposely Broken World. This program is designed to raise more questions than answers. Did you know that 1 in 4 Americans are diagnosed with some form of developmental disability? That makes me your new disability buddy. I created this program to make you think, laugh, love about society, culture, and faith. Things that all interact with each other on an everyday basis. If you want a fresh take on life, then enjoy the ride and see you soon. Hello, friends out there in podcast world. Hello, friends out there in YouTube world. Hello, friends out there in the world in general. My name is Kevin Nunez. I am the host of the Purposely Broken World. This is the October 15th episode of this podcast. You probably noticed by now there's no video if you like to watch this on YouTube. Unfortunately, I am not Joe Rogan. I don't have a studio set up, at least not yet. It's usually just me and my laptop. Well, life happened this month and I don't have my laptop, so I have to record this just on my phone, try to do this all in one take and see what happens. And just, if you're new, bear with me. I usually have much better sound and much better video to go with it. It just, this month was Murphy's Law, and everything that could happen, happened, and such is life. Today's episode is called The Big Picture. For reference, I'm recording this on October 12th, 2024. You are hearing this on October 15th, 2024, hopefully. A few weeks back, I did a blog about the Paralympics and just how they don't get enough representation in the media, other than, a segment here or a segment there kind of thing. In the modern culture, people don't really notice it one way or the other. I did a blog. For those of you who don't know, I have blogs that are released every Wednesday and Monday. If you want to check that out, go ahead. I'll leave the link to that particular blog in the show notes. I'm also a member of the New Jersey Council on Developmental Disabilities. They do not sponsor this podcast in any way. They're just crucial to the anecdote that is this podcast episode. So my last podcast, if you listen to that, was about my visit to the White House on the anniversary of the Olmstead decision and how I was blessed and fortunate enough to speak at that event. Well, when I did that, I think, oh my God, what an amazing memory, what an amazing experience. Thank you, God. But I didn't think, much about it because I'm like, okay, well, that was a one and done kind of thing. And that was amazing, but it doesn't really happen too often to a lot of people. So I kind of moved on. Plus, like I said previously, I was sick the majority of the summer. If you haven't figured out by now, this is kind of a sequel to that event. So, a few weeks later, after being sick with phlegm and vomiting and just not feeling well with a whole bunch of respiratory issues, I received another invitation because of that blog and because of my work with the New Jersey Council on Developmental Disabilities. I was invited once again to the White House to celebrate the Olympians and Paralympians that won medals in 2024 in the Paris Olympic Games. And I call this episode The Big Picture because we don't always see the big picture or the part we play in it. As a person with a disability in our daily lives, it's always difficult. It's always not easy. It's not always fun. In this life, you're not picked first for anything, or at least that's what it seems. Hey friends, really quickly, I'm so sorry for interrupting the podcast, but I need to tell you how to support the Advocacy Life blog and podcast network. Yes, I have a few contributors, but basically it's just Jesus and I doing this thing together. So any donations will be greatly appreciated. You can do PayPal, Cash App, both linked in the bio. I published a book, Confessions from Disability Limbo, linked in the bio as well. Or finally, there is a paid newsletter, $5 a month, for those who want an extra bonus blog every Sunday. One last thing you can do is you can support the podcast directly through a link on the podcast itself and just leave a donation on the podcast itself if you just want to listen to the podcast. That's all I got. All links in the bio. Either way, thanks for your time. This is just value for value. If you like what I do, if you value what I do, then leave me a couple of dollars. If not, there's no obligation whatsoever. Thank you so much for your time. And now back to the show. Teams forget about being picked last in kickball. In some cases, we're not picked at all. But in this particular case, I was fortunate. And I'm not trying to brag because this is the opposite, right? This was me seeing what the sacrifices, what the hospitals, what the bad days add up to. I don't mind being the guy behind the scenes. Yes, everyone wants a spotlight every once in a while, but most of the time, it's okay to work behind the scenes. And I realized a long time ago that my job on earth was to plant seeds that of trees for others to sit under. Well, thanks to the White House and the Biden-Harris administration, for once I was able to see the fruits of that labor. I was about 50 feet from the current president. I was in the second row. Yes, the athletes were the main stars, and they should be. They're the ones with the athletic prowess. I'm just the guy that writes the blogs, that gets their names out there. But sometimes we lose sight of the role we have to play in the bigger picture that is life. And I think it's easy to get frustrated because we don't see the results we want. Life is not our DVR. Life is not on demand. Life is waiting and growing. Life is seeing not what we want in physical, it's seeing what we want through faith. And that's not easy all the time because people like me, we're not the ones girls go for. We're not the ones that get the high paying jobs. We're not the ones that are seen as full potential, or the ones that are seen as less than, or the ones that are seen as unworthy, or the ones that are seen as foolish, or the ones that aren't seen at all. Well, for 1 second, for one day, I felt like I was seen. Now, again, I say one day. When I got home the next day, it was back to reality. It was back to emails. It was back to waiting for others to get me out of bed. It was back to doctor supplements. Back to not feeling the best. I was still on medication from being sick. So it was back to reality. It was back to just being me, back to my daily life. But when you get those moments, remember to just be grateful. I'll try to put pictures and slides so you guys can watch them on YouTube. I think it's important to not lose faith. This is a message to, again, not give up. We don't always get what we want the way we want it. Because even this podcast is not going to come out the way I want it to. Because I don't have my camera. I'm just doing this on my phone. I'm adapting once again. But my hope, my prayer is that this reaches the right person that's having a bad day. I want to reach you and let you know that you are enough, that you will matter, that what you do will affect someone else that you don't recognize. The New Jersey Council sponsored me to go to this event on their behalf. I was representing them, but to everyone else, yes, my nameplate said New Jersey Council on Developmental Disabilities, but to them I was just another person. I wasn't less than. I was just another person. It didn't matter that I was in a wheelchair. It didn't matter that I was coughing 2 weeks earlier. It didn't matter that I was in the hospital 4 weeks before that event. I was just another person. And I was honored to be honored by those athletes. So don't lose sight of the big picture. Will you always see it? No. Will you always understand it? No, you won't. Will you always be appreciated for your efforts? No, you won't. But it doesn't mean that someone else, someone that you don't see, will notice you. Sometimes the needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many or the few. I know that's backwards from the Star Trek line for those of you who watch Star Trek. But sometimes we need to look out for that one person. And my prayer is that this podcast, these blogs, reach that one person. If you guys want to follow me on social media, all the links are in the description below. Sorry, this is not the longest podcast or the most professional, but hopefully you'll share this with someone out there. Hopefully this will make you smile. Hopefully I did what it was supposed to do, or it did what it was supposed to do. Talk to you soon. Back on November 1st. I can't believe we're almost done with this year. Hope you guys are enjoying football season. Hope you guys are ready for or enjoying the baseball playoffs. I'm hoping for a Subway Series, World Series. That would just be awesome. I know I lived outside of New York for the longest time, so that would just be cool for me. But let me know what kind of content you guys want to see in the comments below. I'm always available. So feel free to reach out to me in any way, shape, or form. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. Wow, that was a really fun episode. Hope you guys come back. If you want to support once again, all you gotta do Cash App, PayPal, or the link in the description in the bio. They're all there. Just click, click, click. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Thread, all that good stuff. All those links are in the bio. I will post on there regularly. Podcast episodes come out twice a month on the 1st and 15th. And the blogs come out every Wednesday, give or take. See you soon. Thanks for the support. And bye.